Hello everybody, thank you for joining me once again. And this is going to be let me see, I think it's going to be my third story time. So if you haven't checked out my other story times, go on my channel and do that after viewing this one. So as you've read on the title, me, just Jameka, has been in a movie. And I did mention it in my 100 subscriber video. I did mention it briefly, but I'm gonna go into a lot more detail in this video. So yeah, the movie that I was in is called Terminator Salvation, and I was blessed to be a part of that movie. How I became a part of that movie, it was pretty interesting. So let's jump on into it, shall we? So, as many of you know, if you haven't, if you're new to my channel, welcome. But for those of you who have been with me for a while, know that I am in the military, the U.S. Air Force. So that's where it all begins. So anyway, at the time I worked in a referral office, and you know, I'm doing my daily job as usual, as normal, and an email happens to come through, and it was very vague, very general, and it stated, I guess that there was a project going on. It didn't say what it was for. Obviously, if it said, oh yeah, you know, if you want to become a part of this movie, go ahead and send us your information, everybody and their mama would have been answering this email. So anyway, it was a base-wide email that went out. They were looking for soldiers, and what better way to look for soldiers as extras than to hit up, you know, your local Air Force base. So there was an email that was sent out, and like I said, it had no information. It just said there was a project going on, and if you want to become a part of it, send a photo of yourself, your height, your weight, your bust size, you know, all that, your shoe size. Just, you know, actually, if you really thought about it, it was all the information that they would want for something like this. But not a lot of people put two and two together, and including me. I didn't know what it was for. But if you've ever been to like a modeling, I don't know what you want to call it, like a model call or something like that, they usually ask for these specific things. So anyway, yeah, so I honestly wasn't thinking much about it, but I did ask some of my coworkers and friends, like, you know, over the next few days, like, hey, have you seen did you see the email that came through asking for this information? And a lot of them say, yeah, but I just deleted it because I didn't know what it was about, and I don't have time for all that. So that was the consensus I got, that a lot of people didn't pay much attention to it, and they just deleted it and went on about their business. So you know, something said, you know, just maybe you should look into it. Maybe you should just, you know, send the information and see what happens. So I did. I sent the photo. I sent all the information they asked for, and I didn't think anything else about it. I didn't think nothing. Like, I honestly forgot all about it. So, you know, a couple of weeks went by, and I get a phone call while I was at work, and the person on the other end said, you know, hi, this is whoever the name of the person was, I can't remember, but they said, you know, we received your information, and we wanted to know if you wanted to be a part of you know, a Terminator movie. And I was just like, what? Is this a prank? Like, because I will hang up right now. I was 2 seconds away from hanging up the phone. But they said, you know, would you like to be a part of the movie? If you are interested, you know, we need you to come in for a fitting. and they said you will be paid for that time that you're here for a fitting. So I was just like, oh my gosh, heck yeah. And you know, they told me the time and day they needed me to come in as an extra for a fitting, and I was just elated, over the moon. I was like, yeah, I'm a star, I made it. Yeah, that was me. So anyway, so I let my boss know, and apparently the few people that did around the base give their information were gloating and cheesing, and you know, we kind of had that understanding that yes, we're one of the chosen ones to be a part of this awesome movie project. So anyway, I ended up getting the time off to go to the fitting, and the fitting was so awesome. I mean, back then when I was a skinny little thing, a little stick figure, and yeah, had it going on, I ended up going, you know, they gave me the information to get onto the studio lot, because I don't know if anybody knows, or a lot of people know, there is a movie studio in New Mexico. So anyway, so I get on the studio lot and I go in, and it was just so awesome. Like, it was these two, I'll call them flamboyant guys, who were very enthusiastic and, you know, excited for me to be there. And all I had to do was stand there, and they basically tried things on me, and I was like a little doll just standing there. They would put little hats on me, and it was basically, I needed a uniform on, so they put a uniform on me, but then they wanted to see like what hat would go with my look. So they tried a beret, they tried a normal military style cap, they tried different things, they tried different gloves on me. And I had this really long, super long ponytail weave or extension. So it was like, you know, this really long ponytail. And when you're in the military, you're not allowed to wear ponytails that are like below your collar. So if you're gonna have a ponytail, it can't reach past the bottom of your collar. So it's not really, I mean, you can wear one, but it's really not that long. I was into wearing the long, full ponytails. So anyway, they were like, yeah girl, we're gonna fix you up where you're gonna keep your big ponytail, you know, with whatever hat or uniform or whatnot we put you in. And I was so super excited, because I used to get in trouble sometimes about the different hairstyles I would wear, and you know, because I'd be out of regs or whatever, according to some people. But anyway, for me to be considered part of a military branch, union or whatnot, and get to wear this uniform with my hat and my long poofy ponytail was awesome. Like, I was just like, in your face, you know, for anybody that was against any hairstyle I've had in the past. So I was just like, I get to rock a uniform and my long out of regs ponytail. So that was really cool. So yeah, they figured out what they wanted me to wear. I had a beret. I want to see if I can find the picture, because I begged and begged and begged the one of the stylists for me to get a copy of the photo that they took of me. So once they figured out what they wanted me to wear, and what looked good for me or on me, they took a picture. And if I can find a picture, if I can find that picture, I'll insert it, or you know, I'll insert it somewhere in the video. But anyway, so yeah, so they figured out what looked great on me. They took a picture. They put that picture up with my uniform and everything that they wanted on me, so that when I came on set for shooting, whoever it was that was making sure we got our dress or our outfits knew exactly what we had to have on based off the photo. And if we were missing anything, they could go by the photo and get what was missing. the way the casting director kept in touch with all of us extras, was through MySpace. I know that's so old and so long ago. MySpace is actually still up and running, I think, but it's just not as popular. The casting director would keep in touch with us as far as the location, where we're supposed to meet at, what time, and when, and all that other stuff, all the details. And the thing was, when they would give us information as far as like, be here at this time, on this day, be here on this day at this time, it never, it wasn't always set in stone. So you'd be geared up to, you know, show up at the studio at a certain time, on a certain day at a certain time, and then like the day before they'll be like, you know, sorry, there's been changes, the writer changed a few things, or the weather is not going to be so great, so, you know, scratch that, we'll get back to you when we've come with a different time and day. So my first day on the set was amazing. I was just like in awe of everything, like the set, you know, the people, the food. I was told to get dressed in my uniform that they had set for me, and to go to hair and makeup. And hair and makeup wasn't anything glamorous. In fact, they actually took my long ponytail and clapped dust and dirt into it and teased it a lot with a comb, just to make me look more, I guess, disheveled. And you know, they weren't trying to make me look like a military Barbie. I was basically, you know, made to look a little dirty and roughed up. So once I did hair and makeup, you know, they would tell us to go get something to eat, depending on what time you got there, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And they had these huge tents, and it looked like something you would have at like a wedding reception. It was like these huge white tents, and they had, you know, like these guys in chef hats who were behind these blenders, and they were just waiting for you to come up there and tell them what kind of fruit smoothie you wanted. I mean, it was amazing. And the food that they had was awesome, and it was all you can eat. And you know, they had it there for a set time, and so I'd go eat. Once you were finished eating, they would make you go into a holding area. So the holding area is basically somewhere, like there was literally nothing in there to do other than talk to the people that were around you, like the other extras, or go to sleep, because some people went to sleep. Or, you know, you weren't allowed to have your cell phones because they didn't want you taking pictures of the stars or anything behind the scenes, and, you know, sharing it with the world beforehand. So, or before the movie came out. So we didn't have cell phones, so we were stuck to either talk amongst ourselves, to sleep, and or to eat, because they had, aside from the food that they had in the tent, in the holding area, they had a lot of snacks and drinks and stuff like that to kind of get you through while you were in the holding area. And in the holding area, you just kind of you know, twiddled your thumbs. I, for the most part, kept to myself because I didn't know anybody there. But yeah, so you just wait there until the director or someone came in that worked on the set and said, hey, we need you, and you, or we need 11 bodies for this scene or whatnot. So when that happened, it was like, you know, madness, because, you know, everybody wants to be a part of a movie. I mean, who wouldn't? That's why we were there. So anyway, I was one of the chosen ones for a specific scene. So I get there, and I was told, you know, you're gonna stand here with this gentleman, and the only job you have is to listen to the line of Christian Bale. So Christian Bale would say something, I can't remember the exact words or line that he had, but I was supposed to listen to a specific thing that he said, and when he said it, that was my cue to walk alongside this other soldier. So, you know, and we would walk past, you know, the camera, and as soon as we walked past, we were just to stand there until the director said cut and back to one. And so back to one means wherever you came from, go back there. So we actually did the whole walking past Christian Bale and the other actors. I want to say we did it like 50 times, because the director was always looking for the perfect shot, and then he would say something like, I remember him saying something to one of the actresses, saying that she wasn't supposed to raise her eyebrows when she said what she said during that scene. So he'd be like, cut, back to one. You know, whatever the director wasn't happy with, or even if he was happy with it, he'd just be like, cut, back to one, until he was like 100%. So that part was, you know, I guess it was, I should have expected that. That's what happens. That's what goes on behind the movies to make sure the perfect scene and a perfect shot is captured. So it was cool to see all that behind the scenes, but at the same time, to me, it was a little, I don't know, annoying, because I was just like, you know, the first 20 times going across the way was exciting, but, you know, once it was like 25, 30, 40, 50 times walking back and forth, I was just like, okay, I hope the director is happy with this, because I'm ready to go sit my behind down. And I know that's like the craziest thing to be thinking or to say, because it's like, who gets a chance to really be a part of something like that? But yeah, I'm being truthful. Like, that's how I felt during that time. So, I guess the director was finally happy with the scene that Christian Bale and all of us were a part of. And we were sent back to the holding area. So this actually went on for, I did a total of five days of working as an extra. And you know, like I said, everybody was really nice. The casting director really did like me, and I'm not just saying that just because you know, just to be saying it. She really did like me. She would always come up to me out of the blue and just be like, hey, Jameka, and, you know, just be really, really extra nice to me. You know how when you know somebody is really fond of you or really likes you. So she, you know, every time I come on set, she would always greet me and talk to me and, you know, tell other people how great I look. I remember one time she was like, you know, once I got into my uniform and, you know, had hair and makeup done, she was like, doesn't she look great? I mean, look at her. And so I was, you know, I was a little I was feeling myself. I'll say that I was starting to feel myself. I was like, thank you. The casting director asked me to do a few more days of shooting, but at the time my supervisor at the time didn't, to me, I felt like she was jealous, period. She was jealous because she refused to let me do any more days on set. She was basically saying that the Air Force comes first, which I don't dispute. Yes, I know. I signed up to do a job. I signed up to serve my country. But the thing was, we were not undermanned in our office. We actually had more than enough people to cover the job. So there honestly wasn't a reason for me to stick around when I could have been, you know, shooting. But yeah, she basically banned me from doing any more outside work. on the set. So I was a little steamed from that, but at the same time I was kind of happy because it's, to be honest, it's very long days and hours to just be an extra. And I remember my last day on the set, I called my mom before going on, and I was crying to her. I don't know if she remembers, but I was crying, literally crying on the phone, saying that I was so tired and so, I don't know, just I guess I wasn't expecting it to be as stressful or as long as of days as it was, and I think I got caught off guard, so I was crying about it. And my mom was like, "You don't even have any lines. What do you think the main actors are going through? So, you know, basically like, shut up and be happy that you're in the position that you're in as an extra and that you're on set, period." And, you know, I kind of wiped my tears and got over it, but I thought that was a little funny. Thinking back, it's a little funny. So anyway, yeah, so I did my little 5 days. I was paid, y'all. I know it was $800 and I want to say $65. $865 for 5 days of being an extra. And I'm going to put the clip in. And you'll just see the back of me. So, and I promise it is me. I wouldn't put it out there if it wasn't. But if you blink, you might miss me. It's just the back of me. I'm walking past as a soldier. So so check it out.
It saved my life, John.
Again, if you blinked, you may have missed me, so I'm gonna show it one more time.
It saved my life, John.
Okay, so yes, that was my story of being an extra in a movie, Terminator 4. I don't know if it was Terminator 4, but I know it was Terminator Salvation. That same casting director kept my information, and I did let her know that I was PCSing, basically meaning I was moving to another duty station. I was moving from Albuquerque, and I moved to Mississippi, or I was moving to Mississippi. And she still had me in the back of her mind, because when I moved to Mississippi and I finally got situated in my apartment and everything, I got a phone call from that same casting director, and she said, "I understand, I know you're not here in Albuquerque anymore, but we are shooting a George Clooney film. And she said it was When Men Stare at Goats, I believe that's the name of the movie. When Men Stare at Goats. And she said, this movie, isn't paying as much as far as for the extras, but it was a classroom scene, meaning I would have lots of FaceTime." So I don't know, I say, like, I mean, a lot of my friends call me an idiot for this, but I did turn down, the offer, mainly because I didn't have the money to fly all the way back to Albuquerque, and I wasn't sure where I was going to stay. My whole thing was, I was telling her that I had just arrived in Mississippi, and I was trying to get used to my new surroundings, and I was at a new base, and I was meeting new people, and basically thank you but no thank you. And she just said, just thought I would, just thought I'd put it out there and see what you thought. But that was that. She never contacted me ever again. And a lot of my friends thought I was like the dumbest person ever. And I don't know, do I regret it? A little bit, yes, I do. But everything happens for a reason. And I have seen a few clips of the George Clooney film of When Men Stare at Goats, I believe that's the name of it. And I don't know, it was kind of a weird movie, I guess, but nonetheless, it still would have been cool to be a part of it. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.